Hello and welcome to this How to Finalize a Research Question video. My name is Hasnan Qayyum and I'm one of the study advisors based at the University of Reading Library. The aim of this session is to explore what makes a good research question. A good research question is essential to guide your research project or thesis. It pinpoints exactly what you want to find out and gives your work a clear focus and purpose. With the help of an example, we will also try to examine the process of developing your research question, which follows several steps such as how to choose a broad topic, do some preliminary readings to find out about topic debates and issues in your area, narrow down specific area that you want to focus on, and finally identify a practical or theoretical research question that you want to address. During the process of finalizing your research question, it is vital to think critically. Do not forget to consider some common pitfalls such as your question being too broad. Remember, a good research question should be focused on a single problem or issue. Carefully consider that suitable research is possible in your chosen area and your research question is feasible to answer within the time frame. Also think critically about your question. It should not be either too specific or too simple. A good research question is supposed to be complex enough to develop the answer over the space of a dissertation. Finally, do not forget to check that your question is relevant to your field of study and can fulfill the department's requirements. With the help of some example questions, we will now try to examine the features of a good research question. You have three questions in front of you. I would like you to read these three questions and then think about which one question you believe is complex enough for a research project. You can pause the recording at this point, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes, reflect and make your choice. Now let's start with question 3. Do Turkish immigrants in Western Europe face discrimination? Question 3 is both too simple and not specific enough. It can be answered with yes or no. It does not specify what type of discrimination or narrow its focus to a specific enough area. Therefore, this question is not a good researchable question. Now think about question 2. Where do the majority of immigrants to UK come from? Again, question 2 is too simple. It can be easily answered with figures found through a quick search, with no space for investigation or discussion. Finally, we have question 1. What are the similarities and differences in the experiences of first generation Pakistani and Bangladeshi immigrants in London? This comparative question is complex enough for an in-depth research project. It requires data collection and detailed discussion of the results to provide an answer. Therefore, out of these three questions, question 1 is a good question. You have three more questions in front of you. I would like you to read these three questions and select the most researchable question out of three. You can pause at this point, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes. As soon as you made your choice, you can play the video again. Okay, now consider question 1. Has there been an increase in homelessness in Paris in the past 20 years? Now this question is too simple. It can be answered with a simple yes or no. Therefore, it is not a good research question. Question 2. How have political factors affected patterns of homelessness in Paris over the past 20 years? This question is more complex, requiring in-depth investigation and the development of an original argument. Also, it is specific. It is only considering Paris, and also there is a time frame past 20 years. Therefore, this question is a good researchable question. While question 3, why homelessness has increased in advanced developed countries, is a very broad question. It is not specific. First of all, there may be many factors, sociological, political, economic, but at the same time, there is no defined space. Advanced developed countries. There are so many different advanced developed countries: Japan, Australia, America, Western Europe. So this project can have no focus. Therefore, the question 3 is not a very good question to research. This four-step approach to write an effective research question will be highly beneficial for those who are struggling to finalize a research question. Step 1 covers how to choose a topic area. Make sure choose your topic area carefully. It's vital that your research topic is something you find engaging and meaningful, perhaps an issue that fits with your career aspirations and is important to the wider academic community. Your dissertation will take many weeks and months to complete. Therefore, it's extremely important to choose a topic that you find interesting. Maybe you will find a topic that's focused on your career, or maybe you will be inspired by a subject in another module on your course. Either way, your motivation for your dissertation will be much easier to maintain if you have passion for the subject area. Picking something you are genuinely interested in will keep you motivated. In step 2 of the four-step approach, refine your research focus. Once you have a journal topic in mind, it is important to refine your focus until you have a manageable topic. An idea like I want to write a dissertation about the problem of media bias lacks focus and will leave you frustrated because it is too broad. Refining your topic can be difficult if you are not deeply familiar with your journal area of interest. In order to help you focus your topic, it is important that you gather background information early on in your research. The purpose of gathering background information is to give you an overview of the topic as a whole, to alter you to the key issues and controversies within your research area, to provide you with a sense of how the topic area relates to other areas of your main topic area. In step 3, you define your terms more clearly. Once you have gathered enough knowledge on the topic you want to pursue, you can start focusing on a more specific area of study. You can define and conceptualize your key terms, and finally, in step 4, add context to narrow down your topic and determine potential research questions. This four-step approach will make more sense to you in the coming slides when we are going to use a specific example to explain how you can apply this four-step to a particular research area and narrow down that particular research area to a more refined, specific, and good researchable question. Now we are going to consider with the help of an example how to apply four-step approach. As we said previously, in step 1, you need to identify a potential area for your research. Think about an area of your course that interested you, one that you can realistically research. For example, let's assume you choose media discourse as a potential area for your research. Obviously, it is not a research question, but as a start, it is a broad topic area vital to have at this stage. In step 2, try to be more specific. Consider what it is about the area that in particular interests you. What is it you want to explore? So in the broad field of media discourse, you now start thinking about a more specific area such as representation of different cultural groups in media. Still, it is not a researchable question which is very specific, but at least it's slightly more specific than media discourse. In step 3, you now start defining your terms more clearly. Think about defining what you mean by some of the terms. There will be different themes under your main topic. You can decide what you want to look at. For example, there are many different cultural groups, such as ethnic or religious. Which one you are interested for your research? Also, media has many different types. You cannot explore all in one research project. So you decide whether to use print, broadcast, or internet. You can see in step 3, your research question is starting getting a shape. It is not too broad, but still it is not specific enough to be a good research question. In step 4, the task is to make the representation of religious groups in the newspapers a specific, feasible, and researchable question. In step 4, you refine your question by adding in a context. So you start thinking along the line, is there a specific group, setting, or context that you will be examining this question in? How will it be measured? For example, there are many different religious groups, and it is not possible to explore every religious group in your study. Therefore, you narrow down to a specific group, let's say Muslims, to make your question more specific. You can further narrow down newspapers by dividing them into broadsheet and tabloid, and select one category to make your research question more focused. Also, you can apply context in terms of time period to make your research question more feasible. Finally, you can see at the end of step 4, your research topic is refined and shaped as a good researchable question. The example research question, the representation of Muslims in the headlines of UK broadsheet newspapers 2001 to 2018, is a specific enough question to answer thoroughly, focused on a single problem, feasible to answer within the time frame, and also complex enough to develop the answer over the space of a dissertation. Give it a go. Now write your own research question using the 4-step approach. Based on your experience, write down some questions that you would like to know more about. Looking at these, do they have something in common? This is probably an area that interests you and is possibly researchable in your context. Can you narrow this down using the 4-step approach? Final reminders. Make sure to read extensively around your topic. If you have a gut feeling that you have chosen the wrong topic, speak to your dissertation supervisor. In the first meeting you arrange with your supervisor, make sure that you clearly outline your ideas for your topic. For more information and support, please do not hesitate to contact Study Advice. I hope you find this video useful, and I wish you the very best of luck and success in your dissertation.